What's up? This is Miles from Slightly Stupid, Duddy from the Dirty Heads,
E from Pepper.
And you're watching My Electric Kingdom.
My Electric Kingdom.
My Electric Kingdom!
Welcome everyone, my name is Tom Lamson and this is the first inaugural episode of My Electric Kingdom. And you'll see it's called My Electric Kingdom. It's not Your Electric Kingdom or some other guy's Electric Kingdom. It's because this is my story. Yes, it's a music show and every week we're going to spotlight a major act, what I like to call our national act, and an amazing local act. Being Vermont, we're smack in the middle of New England. We have an amazing music scene, but since we are living in Vermont, there's not a lot of people around, so that's where I come in. I'm helping you guys. We got bands like Whale and Speed, Rough Francis, the list goes on, and a little band called Bombardier to Pilot who are going to be on this show. And tonight's big guest, actually heroes of mine, Slightly Stupid. I got the man, the myth, the legend, Miles, singer, guitar player, writer, and awesome musician extraordinaire. When I got the opportunity to do the show, I actually got a hold of Brian Lyons, who was Slightly Stupid's tour manager at the time. And when I booked the band, I left out a little part that I didn't actually have a music show at the time, but when I got Slightly Stupid as my first official guest, I figured it's probably a good time to get the show going and get off my ass and make this a reality. And it was the kick in the pants that I needed to get this dream going, and little did I know how it would snowball from there, and that months later I would be on Slightly Stupid's tour bus freestyling with C Money as he was giving a little retrospective about the Vermont lifestyle. But you'll get plenty of taste of Slightly Stupid and their antics. You can watch this video, Slightly Stupid, on My Electric Kingdom. Roll the tape.
Well, every time I close my eyes and I see your face, well, I know ain't a thing in the world that could ever take your place. When you're gone, know that them things won't change. Cause I know without you in my life that it never be the same. It's the rhythm you play, or the rhythm that you feel. My love for you, well, I know that it's true. Oh, that she's singing and oh, that she do. My love for you, well, I know that it's. I don't stop the way I feel. Oh, because I love you. Lord, I don't stop the way I feel. Lord, because I love you.
I got the man sitting right next to me, Miles from Slightly Stoopid.
So man, how you doing?
How are you doing? Nice to meet you. Well, I know you guys have definitely carried the torch of the whole reggae rock scene for a while now, starting from someone who a lot of us may know, Bradley Noel of Sublime. I understand that you actually were signed to Skunk Records, which was his label back when he was still alive. Do you think you can tell us a little about how you guys got hooked up with Bradley and how you guys got on Skunk Records?
Well, it was pretty crazy just because, like, as kids, we were such big fans of Sublime. You know, we would put in 40 ounces to freedom before we paddle out. You know what I mean? We were like 15, 14, 15, 16 years old. And when we met Brad, it was kind of like, holy shit, like you're seeing this dude who you looked up to so much as a musician and just as a fan. And he kind of like, him and Miguel kind of took us under their wing and they asked us to go up and do a show in Long Beach up at this place called the Foothill Tavern. It was like an old like punk rock kind of biker bar, cowboy bar, just like cool place, and we went up and did a show, and after the show, Brad and Miguel came up to me and Kyle, and they were just like, yo, you guys, you want to go make a record? And we're just like, we're literally, I think I might have been, if I was 17, I'd be lucky. I think I was 16 at the time. We were just like, whoa, like kind of like, I couldn't believe what's going on right here. And they really just kind of opened the door for us as far as like people learning about Slightly Stoopid, just not necessarily if they knew the band, but people would come to the shows because the Skunk Records, they're like, oh, we're going to go check out that Skunk Records band, you know what I mean? Just because of the power that Sublime had at the time, so many people wanted to be part of that culture, and it seemed like whatever they would talk about, people would kind of, go towards, the Ziggins, us, and whatnot, and it was really cool just to have that, them kind of like explain to us kind of the ways of just like touring and recording and just kind of, not being lazy and getting your ass out on the road and not being scared to, we played in front of 0 people and we played in front of 50,000 people, so it's like you have to be able to play the same show in front of those the nobody people that are there, right, to the 50,000 people that are there, you know what I mean?
Sometimes those are the best shows too,
Yeah, I mean, we treat every show just, it could be a backyard party if you want it to be, you know what I mean? You have to treat it like that, and you have to kind of, and sometimes you have to even force the vibe on people if they're not ready to go to where you want them to go. But then eventually, I think it usually all kicks in and everybody has a good time.
The song "Ain't No Prophet." I noticed that actually Sublime also recorded that song. How did that? Did they actually come to you and say, "Hey, we really like Prophet. We want to record it ourselves"? Or
it was just a song that. When I was showing Brad some recordings that I was doing, he liked that particular song, and then he just, when they were recording, they took it upon themselves to track it and everything, and it was cool. I was stoked that they liked the song like that, and it was cool that they put it on their record. It was just something that I had written when I was younger, and he had liked the song, so.
Yeah, I like that one particularly because that was actually the first song I've heard of you guys.
Oh, right on.
Skunk sampler way back in.
Yeah, he played bass and tambourine on it.
Yeah.
When I was like working on the arrangement and everything and singing.
I love in your guys' show, I don't know if you guys do this every show, but you and Kyle during some point of the concert will throw your instruments up in the air and switch midair.
Yeah.
How did that get
we
started?
stopped doing that though. We started breaking guitars and started losing like some of our favorite guitars, and we're like, man, maybe we'll just hand those things to each other instead.
Oh, really?
Anyway, we used to do that a lot,
I just thought that really kind of tested how good of musicians you are, how in mid-song you guys could actually switch from guitar to
we
bass
still do that.
and
We just don't throw them in the air anymore.
Just a little less altitude.
Yeah. We still do the switch every night, like we have to. We both sing so many different songs, so there's no other way but to do the switch.
Did you guys always want to do that, or did you guys just start getting bored and you're like, hey,
it just came to that. It just kind of came to that, and no other band does it. You know what I mean? So I think it's cool. It's fun for us, but I think it's cool for the fans to watch too, just because it's not like every day that you just see guys just switching up their lead instruments on stage and doing completely different parts. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely fun for us.
Yeah, and definitely, like I said, it's made an impression on me. So you're doing something right. So. I first met these guys going to a major league show. I was actually walking down the street, and these guys were yelling, pulling people from the street, come to our show, $3, $4, whatever you had. They were like carnival tellers, barking at people, bring them in. Like, that's the dedication these guys had. Bombardier to Pilot at their own show. I mean, they booked this show, and these guys were doing whatever. They're opening, hauling equipment. They were getting things done. That's when I know these guys had the passion to really do it. And these guys had it together. They had an incredible work ethic that got them hooked up with Ace Enders. A lot of people would know from the early November. A really influential punk band on Drive-Thru Records, which was one of the biggest pop-punk labels about 10 years ago, and really launched the scene. I got a glimpse of their last show ever at our local club, 242. Check these guys out while you still can. An amazing pop-punk band. Bombardier to Pilot, next on My Electric Kingdom.
We're here alone, but it's not all that bad. It's so hard for me, the feeling that I get when I drive back down Dunlop Way. I drive back down when it comes to it.
And the way I think about it is, like, we're, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, not a big band. So as far as, like, where our sound is, I just, like, don't, I mean, you know, we're pop punk, we have an idea of, like, a direction, but as far as, like, we will never say, like, no, we shouldn't do that, because we don't have any real, you know, following. We have no one to disappoint as of right now. There's, like, I know a lot of big bands, you know, they don't want to.
They're pressured.
Yeah, they're pressured to keep going with a label, you know, with the following. It's you know, money comes into play. We don't have that. We have, like, free reign to do whatever we want. So if we decide to, like, you know, go off the beaten path and, like, do something weird, we're not gonna have to feel, like, pressured to not do that. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, and people are like, oh, I like your other stuff a lot more, you know, like, maybe we can reevaluate then. But as of right now, it doesn't really matter.
I know it's just for old time's sake, it never feels right. I don't know why I do it anyway. When it comes to an end, you know you'll regret wasting the time never spent. Walking away doesn't seem so hard to do, but it really gets to me. It really gets to me. What you meant when you said.
Early November, pretty well known about 10 years ago, and the whole, especially like Drive-Thru Records bands and the whole pop punk wave, I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, that's why I grew up on, like, when I was 15, 16, watching DVDs of those bands, you know, being like, oh man, that'd be so cool to do that. And, you know, after Ace grew up, he, you know, and their band split, he started recording his own stuff and had his own studio. And Tony, actually, when we started, he knew how much of a fan I was. And so he, like, they got through to him, and, you know, we got to record with him. It was definitely weird because we were really bad. And we had no idea what we were doing as far as, like, a band. Like, we've got a way bigger grasp on it just because, like, you know, working together, you know, when you're a band in your early stages, anything you write totally rules. You know, a place where we were like, this is what we want to be.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, well, you know, you guys got a lot to work on, which was fine. And it was like a huge, like, it was a wake-up call, but it was, like, really good experience. And, like, I was trying really hard not to be like, whoa, like, what am I doing right now? Just because it was nuts for me, just being like, you know, I used to, like, go to this guy's shows and, like, be scared to talk to him. And now he's, like, showing me, like, weird vocal warm-ups and, like, you know, telling me that he likes things that I'm doing.
Walking away, it really gets to me. I never understood wasting my time, never spent when
And we're back to My Electric Kingdom. I want to thank you guys for coming on this journey with us. In the next few months, we have tons of acts coming down the pipeline. Man Overboard, Killswitch Engage, Shadows Fall, Ceremony, the list goes on and on and on. And every week, I'm going to bring you bands that really changed my life. Music is one of the most important things, especially going through your high school years, your college years. It's rare to actually connect with something that is that important to you and can drive and shape your life. And I think I've found that not only with the show, but in exploring music as a whole. I went to so many concerts, so many shows, played in bands, wrote, booked, and everything. And every piece has just kind of got me closer to myself and kind of expressed a real passion of mine and showed me the way. And I hope this has also changed your life and showed you what you need to do to pursue something that's really important to you. So I'm going to leave you with that message. Spread the word, the good word of music. I'm Tom Lamson, your host. Have a good night. See you guys. Till next time. My Electric Kingdom.